How's everyone doing today? It's your boy Jeff with my co-host Zach Cooper, who will be doing his own video on the Stone Cold Steve Austin versus the Undertaker match for the WWF title in your house at Cold Day in Hell. The following pay-per-view that we're going to be doing is King of the Ring 1997. There are some really good matches on there just on paper that we're excited to cover. You know, we only picked two. There's about 3 or 4 we could realistically do, but we're going to talk about this match first, and then I'm going to give it a rating at the end. I do mine on 5-star scales. Zach does his out of 10. Perfectly fine. You can kind of relate it both ways. So, like, if Zach gives something a 6 out of 10, it's probably a 3 out of 10 on or a 3 out of 5 on my scale. But let's go ahead and begin. Stone Cold Steve Austin does an interview and says that he doesn't care about the Hart Foundation being at ringside and that he'll beat all 5 of their asses and have them all leaving out in wheelchairs, not just Bret the Hitman Hart. Both guys enter the ring and have a stare down, and then the Hart Foundation with Brian Pillman end up coming ringside. The bell rings and Stone Cold attacks the Undertaker early with some punches and whatnot. Undertaker tries to Irish whip Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he slides under the ring when he's supposed to bounce off the rope, and he pulls Owen from the crowd and beats him up, which was funny. And then the Undertaker tosses Austin into the steel steps, and then he attacks Owen Hart and tosses him back into the crowd. They fight in the ring a little bit, and Taker hits his signature flying clothesline. Undertaker hits an old school on Austin, ends up getting a 2 count. Undertaker then goes for it again. Austin ends up poking the eye. Again, the refs just letting these guys get away with poking the eyes and low blows and all this stuff. Austin then has a tight headlock, and they're trading like rolling pinfall attempts. So like he has the headlock, but if both your shoulders are on the mat, the ref has to count it. So they're trading that back and forth for a little bit. Austin then goes for a shoulder tackle, but it doesn't phase Taker. It doesn't even knock him down or make him budge. So he just takes him down with a headlock again. Austin then takes out the left knee of the Undertaker with a chop block and goes for, you know, an attack on the left knee. So again, another match with Stone Cold Steve Austin involving attacking the knee. So yeah, there we go. This time it's Austin attacking Taker's knee. Undertaker counters with some strikes though. Doesn't go down too easy. But Austin uses the ring post outside to attack the leg. You see the ref go out there with him. Austin goes back into the ring and attacks the leg some more. Taker tries to hit a tombstone, but Austin counters and locks in the STF. They were referencing how it's like a Ken Shamrock-like move that Austin's trying to hit. If you're a younger fan, then, you know, kind of like me, if you're a younger fan than John Cena, you know John Cena for the STF, but anywho, not a big deal. The hold is broken up. I think Taker reached the ropes, and Austin hits some elbows from the outside. He, like, rolls out. Taker's head is kind of leaning on the apron, so he hits, like, the diving little elbow a couple times. Taker counters a leg attack, sending Austin outside of the ring. Taker ends up following him, and Taker uses a takedown and then goes after Austin's bad knee as well. I think we're back in the ring at this point. So Taker now is focusing in on Austin's knee. It was the other way around. So both guys, as Jerry the King Lawler would allude to, have a similar strategy. And these are two great competitors with the same game plan pretty much. Austin counters with some punches, but Taker kicks the knee from out under him and locks in a half Boston Crab. Taker ends up Irish whipping Austin, but he ends up missing the punch of the clothesline. Austin ducks and takes out his leg and attacks it some more. Austin, you know, hits a standing vertical suplex, ends up getting a 2 count. Taker then goes for old school again, but Austin sweeps the legs and punches Taker on the turnbuckle some more. Taker blocks the suplex or the superplex attempt from Austin and like hits basically like it's like a suplex, but like you land on your front, the front part of your body. I don't remember what that's called. That might just be a reverse suplex. I don't know. But let's see, yeah, Taker, he jumps down from the turnbuckle, like he doesn't do an attack or anything. He runs off the ropes and he tries to go for an elbow drop, and Austin ends up moving out of the way. Taker then goes for a sleeper hold after Irish whipping Austin and, trying to wear him down, but Austin ends up hitting a jawbreaker, or what JR would try to cover up as a modified stunner. But both guys were down just for a brief moment after that point. Let's see. Taker goes for an attack, but Austin hits a low blow. Ref wants to DQ him, but Taker hits a low blow. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can poke the opponent in the eye, you can use weapons, you can low blow, and the ref just won't disqualify you. I don't know how matches end in DQ back in 1997, but they happen. But apparently these refs just let you do what you want, pretty much, which is a little inconsistent with the rules. Let's see. Where did I leave off on? Taker ends up hitting a choke slam, but Austin ends up rolling to the ropes. Austin rolls back into the ring and hits a stunner, but Brian Pillman prematurely goes over to ringside and ends up ringing the bell. Austin goes back on the attack. Taker goes for a tombstone. Austin then tries to counter and go for a tombstone as well. Then finally, Undertaker is able to counter out and officially hit the tombstone for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, though, the Hart Foundation, they stormed to the ring immediately and attacked the Undertaker, the Hart Foundation and Brian Pillman, that is, because JR is like, he's not in the Hart Foundation. Austin then goes into the crowd with Bret Hart just sitting there with like a scared / cold look on his face. Austin just tips over the wheelchair and takes his crutches and goes back into the ring and beats down the Hart Foundation and Brian Pillman, helping out the Undertaker. Undertaker chokeslams Owen Hart while the rest of the Hart Foundation flees. Maybe Owen Hart rolls out and joins them at the apron or the entrance of the stage. And Undertaker's music hits. We think it's over. No! Stone Cold Steve Austin has to hit a stunner before he leaves. I know I kind of described a lot right there, but overall I'd probably give this match... It's between a 2.75 and a 3 for me. I'm going to give it a 3 because of all the shenanigans that happened leading up to the finish and after the match. So I'm going to take all of that into account as well. Everything that I have noted down from the pre-match, the post-match stuff, all that does matter in my grading as well. So I am going to give this a 3 out of 5. It wasn't like a special match or anything, but towards the end of the match and the post-match stuff was good. I think it helped carry... the whole match overall. The whole match overall was kind of average for the most part, but then when you factor in, basically after the whole double low blow thing, like from there on out is when stuff starts to get spicy and starts to get interesting and it lifts up the rest of the match. So that's my personal opinion. We'll have to see what Zach has to say about this match, and then we can move on to King of the Ring 1997. Should be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to react to the match.